Bullying. Now, this is something that I experienced a lot as a child. Bullying and how to deal with it, how to get over being bullied, right? Now, first, obviously, you must experience being bullied, which most kids do, because kids are the meanest people in the world. Now, growing up, I experienced bullying because, surprise, surprise, of acne. I had spots and started to get spots around the age of 9. It was probably when I started going through puberty, which is earlier than most people. And so, obviously, bullying usually occurs when someone is different to the group, right? Kids have a herd mentality, and a lot of people stay in that mentality as they grow older. It's besides the point. Kids have a herd mentality, and so if someone's a little bit different, someone has different shoes, a different haircut, perhaps different mannerisms, if they speak a little bit different, any kind of difference amongst kids, you will likely experience bullying, right? If you're overweight and everyone else isn't really, that kind of thing. If you're more ugly than most people are in that group, then you might get bullied, that kind of thing. If you've got bigger ears, etc., right? So I started to get spots and acne from the age of 9, which is incredibly early. Most people probably get it around 13 or something, right? So in the UK, that's like year 6, very early. I started to get spots, on my forehead, cheek, chin, whatever. My diet was very bad at the time, very fussy eater. Made it worse, obviously. So I started to get spots around then. And instantly, a lot of the girls and, lots of the guys that I wasn't friends with would bully me, right? They would say comments about it, make mean comments, mean remarks, all of these things which make you feel kind of, you want to just curl up in a ball and go in a shell and feel self-conscious, right? So that happened, lasted a few years, carried over into secondary school. Obviously my friends would never really do anything about that, because if they're your friends, they can probably tell, oh, you're you struggle with this certain thing, you're self-conscious. And even though friendship banter goes a long way, they probably wouldn't joke about something they know that you're actually insecure about, right? So they wouldn't, but everyone else, there'll be a comment here or there and that kind of thing. And then in secondary school, there was this one guy, which was in my class, a chav, and he would bully me every single day. Every single day he would bully me. He would, he started to call me Spotty, right? That was his nickname. He would say, "Hey, Spotty," or whatever, walk past me in the corridor, "Oh, Spotty, we'll better start laughing, ha ha ha," walk off, right? And I didn't really have anything else to say. I was already a very, sheltered kid around people that weren't my friends or anything. I was quite self-conscious, obviously, insecure as most kids are, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. So it went on for a long period of time, probably over 2 years, a year and a half. This one kid every single day, every time I saw him, or like, if someone said something to you in class and you try and defend yourself or speak up, kids just like little bicker, argue, whatever. He would just like say like Spotty this, Spotty that, whatever, right? So I dealt with that. Now, this all stopped when one day, I do not recommend this or support it, but worked. He was calling me it, blah, 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 joking. He kind of found it as a joke, right? Oftentimes bullies don't know they're bullying people, a lot of them. I'm sure I bullied a few kids, just being mean to them a lot, but I never found it to be me bullying them at the time. I just found it whatever, right? But I'm probably the villain in their story. It's kind of how it works. Anyway, he was joking, whatever. We were on a flight of stairs, and I pushed him down the stairs. And stairs in schools, most schools, they go on for quite a way before they go around in a building block. I pushed him down, and like he was trying to jump, and I pushed him as he was jumping, bang, and he really hurt his ankle. Starts like tearing up a little bit. Anyway, I pretend like it was an accident. Oh no, whatever. Unlucky, bud. But, oh no, whatever. And I help him to first aid everything. But from then on, he kind of stopped calling me spotty, maybe once or twice, but clearly he respected me more now because he saw that I could do something. That's my bullying story. That's how it ended. But I've often thought about this growing up, and as I got rid of my spots with Accutane and then started to become more attractive, people obviously treat you different. And I would often think, people still try and bully you a lot when you're an adult in a workplace, whatever. People, it's usually people that are more insecure when you're an adult. They'll try and pull you back down for something that they possibly want more of. If you're very confident, usually people that aren't very confident will try and pull you back down. They'll try and pull you back down by making these remarks, these jokes, these this and that. They'll effectively try and bully you. But if you know how to deal with it, when you get older and as an adult, it's very easy to deal with. So the way you deal with bullying and how to stop it is by taking ownership of whatever the person says, right? As long as it's true. If it's not true, well, they're just retarded talking shit to you, basically. If it is true, like back in the day, that guy would call me spotty. I had terrible acne all over my face, on my back and everything, and there'll be blood on my white shirt from the spots popping. Anyway, fuck, lost my train of thought. You take ownership of it, right? So if back in the day he called me spotty and my adult brain could go back into him, or if I could advise my child that was struggling with bullying, whatever, first of all, you got to stand up for yourself, number one, which I didn't because I was too scared until I did. Number two, you got to take ownership, right? So if someone said, oh, you have spots, you go, yeah, I do have spots. Like, good observation. What do you want me to do about it, right? Whereas if you try and brush it off or you become a bit sheltered, they're trying to get you to shelter a bit, to pull back, right? If they say something, you're like, oh, go away, whatever, or you don't say anything, then they got where they wanted. It worked. If you go, like, yeah, I do, right? Like, what do you want me to do about it, right? Or like, oh, you're so loud. Like, yeah, I am loud. I am. Just look them in the eyes and take ownership. Like, oh, you're so fat. You go, yeah, I'm overweight. Like, look them in the eyes and just take ownership of it. Do not shelter, take ownership of it. So when you're an adult, people often try and do this in the workplace if they are jealous of you or a specific trait that you have, right? If you go to the gym, you will understand lots of people I guess it's bullying, but you don't really see it as that because you might consider yourself more powerful than them or more status, whatever. Someone tries to make jokes of you or that you don't really find too amusing or think it's not really a joke, they're just trying to take the piss and make fun of you effectively, then all you do is look at them and go like, yeah, right, yeah, that's right, whatever they said, yeah. Or you can even take it a step further and be like, that's a rather mean thing to say. Right now, flinging it back on them, everybody knows that's a rather, obtuse or mean thing to say. But once you look at them and actually verbalize that, like, are you okay? That's rather than mean. And then if they go like, oh, did that offend you? It's like, no, but I just thought it was a rather mean thing to say to someone. It's weird that you'd say that. And now it's making them feel insecure, like, because they know it is. Inside, they know it is. You go like, they'll probably get a little bit flustered, red face, and oh god, that was like kind of mean in their head. They're thinking that, and then they'll go like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, whatever. Now they've sheltered, and now the chances of them doing that again are very, very low. And if they do, you just run the same playbook. Stand up for yourself. Do not be quiet. Unless it's, you're an adult and kids say something as you're walking past. They're not worth your time. They're not valuable enough. You can ignore. Take ownership, stand up for yourself and just look them in the eyes. Or just point out exactly what they're doing. It's a rather mean thing to say. Why'd you say that? That's it. That is how you do it. Now, from someone with experience of being bullied, someone that's probably bullied other people growing up, that is how you deal with bullying. Hope you got some value from that video and maybe a bit of insight. It is character building being bullied, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, especially growing up, you can get a bit carried away ahead of yourself and it always balances you out a little bit. Obviously not being relentlessly bullied, obviously not, but it can be character building, and as long as you take it and channel it the right way, I'm a way better person. Do not regret that happened to me at all. And now here we are. Obviously don't really have acne anymore as well, so that's also good. Anyway, hope that you got something from that video and enjoyed that small story from school. But yeah, that was not fun, and I did mean to push him down the stairs and then pretended. Hey, win is win, baby. Win is win. Right, we've got to figure out how to turn this shit off again. Boom. Right, that didn't work.